I was the best, the tippy top, the envy of all around.
We were drinking and talking about The Karate Kid and Back to School and movies like that, and we kind of noted that this guy, Johnny, you got the sense that he is like undefeated basically, and he loses once, and that is the end of his career. And then a kid who had lost over and over and over again wins once, and then suddenly he's the big stud. And we were joking at how that's kind of in a real world situation a little bothersome, and we wanted to know what happens to that kid after he has to face, the real world where he's not a winner anymore.
I think the best thing about 80s music is that it sits in a higher register than typically, I guess, more traditional music sits. So it's more exciting. It's the upper extremes of people's vocal ranges. So the 80s, there's a lot of different kind of music. There's like Madonna 80s, there's kind of the Journey 80s, there's more like the hard rock, hair band kind of 80s. I think I'm trying to go for more of a Journey kind of route.
It has to be in the mind of any competitor that there is a chance that you will lose. I think Johnny's banished that thought from his mind for such a long time that when the reality of it comes back, he's sort of paralyzed. He can't handle it. And I think his sort of enthusiasm for winning is what makes him endearing, and also his sort of familiarity to us as a character makes him endearing. We want our bad guy in those 80s movies to be someone memorable because it means more when the underdog beats him.
One of my favorite songs in the show is the very beginning of Act 2 starts off with kind of the monster ballad of the show, which is called It's Not My Fault. And I really like it. It's dramatic, it's power chords, it's very 80s.
So I think the moral message of our show has a lot to do with figuring out what you want to do with your life. I think that a lot of the high school movies sort of stop at winning the thing. Like, all these people change from what they were, which I think is sort of the next step in your life anyways, is figuring out what you want to do, and more importantly, the kind of person you want to be. So
I like every song in this show, which is rare, because usually there's those songs that you're like, oh God, just get it over with. But I'm very proud of this. I think it's fantastic.
Take another look at me. Now you might see something more. A bully, the baddest of masses. I was victory's whore. When my life turned upside down, the minute I couldn't win, I learned life was more than a game. It all starts senior year again. I know that you used to hate me. Now you know what it's like to be me.
what group in high school do you think you were a part of?
Definitely the theater nerds. Definitely.